Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm gonna leave I'm gonna leave Winnipeg alone for tonight. Um, this is gonna be a rather shorter video. I just want to touch on a couple things. So this past weekend, I drove all around Kenora, and um, there was a Kenora Art Festival that was advertised in the Minor News, which is a local newspaper, but I didn't see any signage on this festival anywhere around Kenora. There was no mention on where the venues are. Um, it was it was really disappointing because like it's just another example on if you're not in the know with what's going on in the area. In other words, if you're not a local person, you're not able to get the information in regards to activities that are going on. Um, this past week, I must have clicked on Tourism Kenora because they reached out to me, and I said to them, I'm not a tourist. I live in Kenora, but I've been having a hard time getting involved in things. And I listed to them some things I would like to get involved in, and I said, like, if anybody over there knows how I can register for certain things like baseball, um, and I listed off a few other activities, and they never got back to me. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? That's just a perfect example of, you know, again, the clickiness of Kenora and the segregation in Kenora, and how people that aren't born here, and by here I don't mean Canada, I mean not born in Kenora or um, surrounding communities like White Dog or Grassy or whatever, Rat Portage. Um, if you're not from those areas, you're not in the know with what's been going on or what is going on in Kenora. And um, so I just kind of um, I made note of that so that we could talk about it in these videos, and that's exactly what we're doing. Um, but it is just another example, and by another example, I mean one of the reasons this I'm doing the whole thing with Kenora now is because I have been feeling really discriminated against living here. I feel sorry, I thought I heard something. Um, I have been feeling really discriminated against living here because it has been very hard to get involved in things. Like back in September, something happened in my personal life that I really could have used some friends, and um, but I really haven't been able to make those connections with people in Kenora that I felt comfortable to reach out and talk to them about what had been going on. And um, when I felt that like I really do need to get out there and try to move forward. I decided I was going to start trying some different activities. I went to Winnipeg. I took this curling course. I took a curling course at the Kenora Curling Club. And despite that, um, when it came time for registration in October, I wasn't allowed to register. They kept telling me that they'd find a team for me to play on, and then 3 weeks later, when registration closed, they told me that I was not gonna be allowed to register. And, not only that, but I was told not to contact the one of the people again that was doing the registration, and Kenora Curling Club wouldn't respond to my emails anymore. Um, it was very hurtful, and I noticed there on the leisure guide with the city, and this whole situation with the Kenora Curling Club, it was actually what kickstarted these videos, because it made me realize that despite the time I've spent in Kenora, despite how much I have tried to incorporate myself in different um, aspects in Kenora, I'm welcomed as long as I'm contributing to a fundraiser or helping someone in some way. But once I actually start doing something for me, trying to incorporate myself into some positive activities, I'm I'm met with um, people who just do not want me there, and I finally realized that no matter how hard I try, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, this is the reality. And I mean, we're talking about a town, not just a few individuals. And that doesn't really sit well with me, which is exactly why I'm making these videos. Like, I know there's things that Tourism Kenora says that there you can do, but there really isn't a heck of a lot. Like 90% of what Tourism Kenora lists on their weekly to do things happens during the average person's workday, right? Like, I'm not going to take time off work to go paint, right? Like that's just not going to happen. So, I mean, like, I'm looking for things to do in the evening, and there isn't a heck of a lot. And I was taking part in Women in Black a little bit, but it's really not my thing. Like, um, I don't want to be sitting around in the evening. I want to be up and I want to be moving. I want to be doing things. And um, there's also the fact that, I have a really hard time supporting a community that really is not going to be not accepting me unless I'm helping them. Like, it's just I, I've had enough. Like, I want to be able to do activities and things that I enjoy that are just um, to promote self growth for me and positively positivity for me in some way. And if I can't do that, then I'm not going to be putting myself out there for others. It's not happening, not unless I'm getting paid for it, at least. Um, which I am with work, right? And I mean, like, that's work. So it is what it is. Um, but and I Okay, so I am going to, when I do get the screen sharing up and going, I am going to show you those emails from Kenora Curling Club, and it just shows how um, discrimination did happen, and how unless you're part of a clique in Kenora, you're just not welcome in these things that are considered public sports, right? It just it's kind of disgusting that that happened, and um, it really set the tone on what I could expect going forward with people in Kenora. And that is kind of why I've been doing these videos. Now, getting back to Tourism Kenora, if you look at the activities in the evening, a lot of them are geared towards children and seniors. There's not a heck of a lot to do for people my age, right? Like I'm in my 40s and there's really not a heck of a lot to do. And it's very disappointing. Um, like I would like it's spring. I would like to get involved in baseball if I could. You know, and other activities, but that isn't even on there. But I know that there's baseball teams and such in Kenora, but again, it's not listed, and there is absolutely no information on it. Actually, I did reach out to um, let's see, I reached out to Kenora Baseball League to find out if they had um, adult adult registration happening, and they said that they didn't do adult registration. That it was strictly kids. And I went, "Oh, okay. That is strange, but okay, maybe it's a different Kenora Baseball League that does adult registration. I don't know." Um, but I I asked them, do they have any idea on where I could register? And they're like, "Nope, sorry." Yeah, what they said was, I would have to ask around. So again, it's very, um, it's very disappointing, very clicky, very, if you're not in the know, you're not supposed to know or not allowed to know type thing. And but I mean, that's exactly why I'm making these videos. I'm I'm tired of seeing these things that are meant for seniors and kids, but not for people my age, and um, not being allowed to partake in different group sports that would um, promote getting to know people, building those relationships. It's pretty disgusting how things are here, but it is what it is. And that is exactly why I am making these videos, right? Anyways, we'll go more into this in the next few videos because I want to elaborate more on this, but I want my screen share first so that I can show you some of the stuff that I've been seeing, and show you those emails, and um, show you exactly how much discrimination is happening in Kenora and how hard it is to get involved in things. All right. Have a good night, everyone.